Our story begins with Kazuya getting dumped by his girlfriend after only a month of dating. He's sitting in his bed and he just can't handle the loneliness. So he goes on a girlfriend renting app and hits up Chizuhara. They meet up at a restaurant. He's like, damn, this girl is a fine piece, boy. Then they go to the aquarium and he's dropping fish facts. And before they go home, she holds his hand. He ends up back on the dating app reading reviews of Chizuhara. And he starts tripping out that it's all fake. He pays for another date and then confronts her about it all being fake. And she's like, yeah, dude, it's a fake date. He's like, oh, yeah. He then gets a call that his grandmother is in the hospital. Chizuhara comes with him to the hospital. And when his grandmother sees his new girlfriend, she can't believe it. And she's like, I gotta tell my girlfriends about this. Chizuhara is like, one of those ladies is my grandma too. We gotta hide, man. The two end up hiding under some covers. Kazuya gets a wicked stiffy, and Chizuhara kicks him right in the jimmy. The commotion gets them caught by the grandmas, and later he tells her that his grandma just wants him to find a nice girl like her. He leaves her a 5-star review and moves on. But then he runs into her at college the next day. She just runs off. Later, she pulls him into a storage room and tells him he better not let anybody know she's a rent-a-girl. Then it's revealed that they're next-door neighbors. Then he gets a call from his grandma, and she says she's coming over and wants to see his new girlfriend again. Then he begs Chizara to help him out, and she's like, that's not what I do, buddy. His grandma is sitting around his apartment waiting for Chizuhara to show up, and he doesn't know what to do. His grandma guesses that Chizuhara left him because he's a messy bitch. Hearing all this, Chizuhara feels sorry for him and shows up at his door with a cooked meal. She's in full girlfriend mode, and grandma is smitten. Chizuhara says she'll help him out for 1 hour every Wednesday to keep the girlfriend facade up with his grandma. A week later, he randomly bumps into his ex, and he's so freaked out by it, he's just standing there like a tool, and his friends start clowning on him. Chizuhara later accompanies him to visit his grandma. On the way back, they run into his friends, and they're like, who is that smoking hot fox, man? And he's like, it's my girlfriend. They pull him aside and ask, did you tap it yet, dude? And he's like, nope. His friends invite the two to a drinking session, but his girlfriend's there too. And at first, everybody's pretty awkward. But then she's like, everybody chill, I'm over it too. But then she starts to insult him and be really rude. Chizuhara has had enough of Kazuya getting insulted, and she tells his ex-girlfriend to stow it, to shut up. But Kazuya takes his ex-girlfriend's side, and Chizuhara just takes off. Then he's walking home with his ex, and he's like, we should go to your place. She's like, I'm sorry, my brother's there. Then he asks her to come to his place, and she declines and moves in for the kill, patting him on the head. Then, to add insult to injury, she starts talking smack about Chizuhara, and he realizes the mistake he's made and runs home to try to save his budding relationship with Chizuhara. He apologizes to Chizuhara, and she accepts it, but reiterates that she's just a rental girlfriend anyway. A few days later, Kazuya heads to the beach with his friends. His ex-girlfriend's there too, and she's super jealous of Kazuya and Chizuhara's relationship and is determined to break the two of them up. Kazuya's ex starts flirting with him hard and making him pretty emotionally confused. Chizuhara randomly shows up at the beach too, but nobody recognizes her except Kazuya. During a shopping trip near the beach, Kazuya pulls Chizuhara into the bathroom and he's like, "Yo, I think you like me." They begin arguing, but his ex-girlfriend hears the commotion and comes to the bathroom door. So Chizuhara changes clothes and just acts like her and Kazuya are out on a date. Later, when Kazuya is alone in the water, his ex-girlfriend pretends to fall into him and kisses him and makes out with him for a good few minutes there, and then tells him, "Oh, just pretend like nothing happened," and walks away. His grandma calls and says she's getting out of the hospital. He goes back to the party and announces that he and Chizuhara are breaking up. His best friend gets up and decks him for making such an idiotic move. Then he sternly tells Kazuya's ex to stop playing games. Kazuya's best buddy catches up with Chizuhara, and he has a heart-to-heart with her. Tells her Kazuya's not that bad of a guy. And then he gives her some ferry tickets. And he says, "Hey, give the guy one more shot, yeah?" On said ferry, Kazuya gets a call from his ex-girlfriend. And while he's on the phone, Chizuhara falls overboard. Kazuya realizes what happened and dives in to save her. He manages to get Chizuhara to the beach, but he's taken in too much water, and she has to give him mouth-to-mouth resuscitation to bring him back. His friends pick him up when he's discharged from the hospital, and they take him home. There he tells Chizuhara, "Thank you for saving my life, and I'm sorry for all the trouble I put you through." He's feeling bad for blowing it with Chizuhara, and then his grandma takes him off to the hot springs. He notices Chizuhara's grandmother is there as well. Kazuya and Chizuhara find that their grandmothers have set them up in the same room. And it's on like Donkey Kong.